Hello, good afternoon. All right, so we're going to be looking at the assignment from today, number two, just for a little clarification on there. So, um, the discussion we were having is, do we round while we're doing it, or do we round at the end? Uh, so, after researching it a little bit further, I found that we do both. So, let's take a look and see how that works. All right, so we're going to take this number here, and initially we're not going to round. All right, and then I am going to note the number of significant figures, although we're not going to do it yet. So this is 3, this one is 3. I'll go ahead and identify him. That's 5. We multiply these two together, and then I got 50.05. So, can you see that? Yeah, 50.05. And then now we're going to divide that. We're not going to round yet. We're going to divide that by that number. All right. And then when we do the division for this one, we're going to get 0.50029988. All right, so now we have our exact value, and then we're going to go back through and we're going to do the rounding and bring it forward. All right, so we had 3 significant figures. This one would have been rounded to the 10th spot. So this 5 would have told me that would have gone up, and from there I would have gotten 50.1. All right, so when I look at this one, this is 3 significant figures. This guy was still 5 significant figures. All right, so now we'll do the division, but not the rounded number. We're just using that only for rounding. When we did the division, we got this value, and then now I'm looking at, this is 3 significant figures. This one is 5, so we're going to keep 3. So this 2 tells me that he's going to stay where he's at. Then that would be your final rounded answer. So we have our exact answer and we have our rounded answer. All right, and then now we're going to tackle this booger bear over here, letter G. So I think we should be able to match the answer that they got. Let's see. All right, so for letter G, we're doing 28.7 times 10 to the 5th. That was in parentheses, divided by 48.533 bracket plus 144.99. All right, so we'll go ahead and I just like to expand these. All right, so I would just take this decimal place and I'm going to move it 5 places to the right. So that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll move the decimal to the right and then I get rid of the decimal. If it's negative, I move the decimal to the left, keep the decimal. And then we're going to be dividing that by 48.533. Then we'll get out a handy dandy calculator. All right, so you know that we're going to do this part first. So yeah. Five, 9,135.02153. We'll add that to 144.99. And I am noting my significant figures as we go, although I'm not using them yet. So this would have been 3, 5, 5. Here we have 5 interior 0, so this would be 10. That's still 5. All right, so we're going to take that value and add it to 144.99. And then we're going to get the exact value, 59280.01153. Okay, and then now we'll go back and we'll see where we rounded based on significant figures. So 3 and 5, I'll keep 3. The lowest number is significant figures. So this value would have been rounded to 3 significant figures. So that would have been rounded, we would have rounded here to 3 significant figures. So this would have told me that this is 591, and then we put in our placeholders, but no decimal. Otherwise, these would become significant. All right, so now we have 3 significant figures, and then over here we have 5, but we need to line up the decimal on this one because it's going to be addition. So if I were adding up the four, 99, and my decimal would have been here, 0, 0, 1, 9, 5. All right, and then we're looking for the least number of places behind the decimal. This number wouldn't have a decimal, although it's lined up. So here, we use the least number of places behind the decimal or the least amount of certainty. So this one is 2 places behind the decimal. Here, there's no place. So these zeros aren't significant. So this would be my last significant figure here, the 1. These ones wouldn't be used for accuracy. These are just placeholders. We're not certain. So the last number with certainty, and then the numbers with no certainty, no. All right, so we'll round here because this is the least amount of certainty we have. So we'll go to the last significant figure, and that'll represent. So if we don't see the decimal, we want to use the last significant figure and then round. So we would have been rounding here to the 1, 10, 100. We would have been rounding to the 100th spot. So we're going to round our exact value to the 100th spot. So that's going to be rounded here. All right, so this will be 59300. And then if we want to put this back in scientific notation, 5.93. And we're going to keep the zeros for accuracy. Now we don't need those 2 zeros. So I know we should have the same number of significant figures, whether it's in scientific notation or not. And that is 4. All right, so 5.93 times 10 to the 4th. 5.93 times 10 to the 4th. Let's also take a look at F while we're at it. All right, so for letter F, that's going to be 2.290 times 10 to the 6th divided by 6.7 times 10 to the 4th. And these ones were both placed in parentheses. I just like to expand it. You can not expand it and just do the values and subtract these 2, but for conversation's sake, we're just going to expand. 2290, and this is 4 significant figures. So that would be 4, 5. That's right. So we would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we need this one for accuracy. He is a significant 0. So that's an issue. We need this one to be significant. I'm just going to remember that we have 4. And we're going to divide that by 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. So that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 places to the right. All right. And then next we'll go ahead and throw this value into our calculator. 229, 1, 2, 3, 4, divided by 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. Right, then we get 34.170448. So we have an exact value. And then on this one, we have 4 significant figures. This one is 2. So I'm going to keep the lowest amount of significant figures. And for my lowest amount of significant figures, it's going to be here in the 1 spot. So this 1 is going to tell me that 4 is going to stay. And so here we see 4 is staying. So for order of operations, that's how you do it. All right, so we're going to look at 2 more examples, and after that, if you have any questions on when we get back to the next class period, just let me know, and we'll take a look at it. All right, so here, for this one, again, I like to expand these. I just need to make sure that I'm keeping the correct number of significant figures. So this would be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's 2 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move to the right, drop the decimal, and then we're going to divide that by 3010. We get some value, and kind of come back to that part. It's just lazy math. It's not efficient. All right, so we have 42300 divided by 3010. All right. And then we get 14.05315.615. Then we're going to subtract off 2.33. 72315.6, etc., etc., etc. I don't think we'll be going out that far. So now we'll come back and we'll look at how we would have done the rounding. So on this one, I have 3 significant figures. On this one, I have 3 as well. So we'll keep the least amount of significant figures. We have a decimal present, so this 5 is going to round this 1 up. So we've got 14.1. And then I'm subtracting off this one. So we would have lined these up with the decimals. And then when we got our value, this is the least accurate. So we're going to round here. And so when we get our value, we're going to go to the 1 spot. So this 2 would tell me that he is going to stay. So my final answer would be 11.7. All right. And then next we'll look at this last one here together. All right. So we'll go ahead and start doing the math. 6.290 plus 4.77. So this would give us 11.06. This one is 4 significant figures. Well, on this one, we would have had to line them up. So I'll come back to that. And then now we're dividing it all by 3.03. 3.650165. So I don't think we'll go out that far. So on this one, we would have lined up our decimals. So this would have been here. Least accurate. And so we would have rounded to this spot. It's already rounded to this spot, so that's okay. We would leave this one as is. And then when we divide, this is 4 sig figs. This one over here is 3 sig figs. So we're going to round to 3 significant figures. So this 0 tells me that the 5 is going to stay. We've got 3.65. So when we have mixed operations or we have more than one operation that we have to take care of, we're going to work it out first and get our exact value. And then after that, we're going to go back through and look at where we would have rounded and what level of accuracy and precision we need. So that's how we do that one. If you have any questions, make sure you ask during class. Go back and check out the video for the first 2 problems, and maybe you might be able to get a better understanding on it. And if not, we'll see you in class. Have a great day.